वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते. We'll start reading. साधन चतुष्टय संपन्न अधिकारिणां मोक्ष साधन भूतं तत्त्वविवेक प्रकारं वक्ष्यामः. साधन चतुष्टयं किं? नित्यानित्य वस्तु विवेकः, इह मुत्रार्थ फलभोग विरागः, समाधि षट्क संपत्तिः, मुमुक्षुत्वं च इति. नित्यानित्य वस्तु विवेकः कः? नित्य वस्तु एकं ब्रह्म, तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वं अनित्यम्. अयमेव नित्यानित्य वस्तु विवेकः. विरागः कः? इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यम्. समाधि षट्क संपत्ति का? शम दम उपरमः तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति. शमः कः? मनो निग्रहः. दमः कः? चक्षुआदि बाह्य इंद्रिय निग्रहः. उपरमः कः? स्वधर्म अनुष्ठानम् एव. तितिक्षा का? शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखादि सहिष्णुत्वम्. Very good. As we have been reading this, while reading, you should be able to understand what you are reading. Moreover, you should be able to recollect the teaching in nutshell. So that is the purpose of chanting or going through the text prior to the class. Sometimes, I summarize the class just to make you to understand where we have left. So to make it more effective, this mere listening will not work here. You need to have pen and paper, start writing, and you need to dwell upon. It is not like, just like closing your eyes and listening halfway, it will not work. So it is not, something. So you need to have pen and paper. You need to really work seriously with yourself. Because I can make out when you work with yourself, there will be change in you, in your behavior, in your approach. In fact, how you dress, how you carry yourself, everything will be reflected through the understanding. Because remember, I am observing all of you. How you sit, how you move, how you dress, everything I do look at. Means that shows whether you are understanding or just simply you are there. Because everywhere there should be elegance. The reason is why, because if your thinking is not polished, or if you are not tuned to the teaching, definitely that elegance will not come. That roughness Unpredictable factors will take over you. Okay, why I'm talking today? Because today topic is Shraddha. That's why I didn't have any other choice. Okay, so already in my mind, Shraddha is running. That's why. So, as we have discussed in details, that the person, whoever is this person, Sumit, you should understand when I'm talking elegance, you keep moving, you understand. Neither you are not listening, nor you are allowing others to listen. This is a classroom. This is not time pass, okay? At least if you have to move some region, make the video off and move. Then when you are steady, please make the video steady. This is the minimum thing to learn in life. This also I have to talk. So this is a classroom. It is not, time pass. You understand? And I am trying my best to hold your mind for half an hour so that your way of thinking to be, aligned with the teaching. Don't make me to think in your way. This is the problem. You want me to endorse your thinking. You want me to satisfy your thinking. Hey, that's not teaching. That is called entertaining you. I am not here an entertainer. That's why I'm very clear. Then teaching will not work. Coming back. See, all these things, why was not planned before Sumit? That means no thinking. Only when scolding comes, everything works. Huh? Okay, sorry, coming back. So here, when you start reading all these things, you must be able to capture the whole teaching that we has gone through in essence. That will happen when you have done some homework, when there is a preparedness, when you are available here in this classroom. Because if you are sitting with a preoccupied mind, or you are sitting with the agenda, whatever way, it will not work, it will reflect. That's why I request all of you, when you are in the class, because after all 30 minutes, 7 minutes are over, like this. Just 30 minutes, learn to cooperate with me. So, okay? Okay, learn to cooperate with me. Hey, all of you guys listen, okay? Vessel. See, all of you should listen now, okay? Each one is being monitored. So each one is seeing other, okay? Because all of you are available on the screen. Be conscious. Anyway, coming back. Let me not stretch too much. This is too much today. Coming back. We discussed very carefully that there are fourfold qualifications. Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi Satka Sampati, and Mumukshutva. So in short, Viveka, the discriminative faculty. So the job of the sadhaka, or the one who wants to be a free, happy, liberated person, the person must keep the discriminative faculty always in the first priority. Means give importance to the discriminative faculty. That we have discussed in details. Then comes, from out of that, comes viraga or vairagya. So when we say viraga or vairagya, learning to grow out of. What commonly called as dispassion, but we discussed in details, learning to grow out of, or free from likes and dislikes. Not under the clause of your likes and dislikes. Suppose if this does not come, then what to do? Then he says, look, along with that, you need to work on what? Shamaha. So calming down your mind. So when there is disturbance, when there is turbulence, you learn to bring down, calm down your mind. Let your mind be available for yourself. Suppose Shama is not there. What to do? Don't worry. Work on Dhamma. So shut down all the doors. that we discussed. Okay, shut down literally all your doors, like how this COVID-19 they manage, because nothing is there, there is no option, there is no medicine. So what to do? Lockdown and shut down. How long lockdown, shutdown will continue all over the world, God only knows. Then, okay, then after shutdown, what this would do? So that is what we discussed. You need to do Uparama. So the problem with all over the world government, they only do shutdown, there is no Uparama, okay? So only they have to time to shut down, no Uparama at all. So here you also need to do Uparama, that we also discussed in details. That like with this COVID-19 case, shutdown is not a process, shutdown has no value, no meaning. But they do shutdown so that government will have time to prepare how to manage after shutdown, when it is opens. So they buy time to do few things. But all over world, they do shutdown, all officials sleep nicely. So when shutdown is open, again all the problems are back. You understand? So also here, when mind there is a turbulence, so you can shut down. Absolutely no problem. Close all your eyes and all the doors. Then after that, what happens? Perfectly you are okay. The moment you open your eyes, the moment you start engaging yourself, all problem comes back. So that's why you need to do, or you need to give importance to Uparama, that we have discussed in details. Swadharma Anushtanam Eva. Doing what is to be done. In details we have seen. So preparing yourself to face the situations, in short. Seeing the maturity by yourself. Seeing the emotional growth for yourself. Most important thing, seeing the emotional maturity, emotional growth for yourself. Because the problem with all of us is, we work on to show others, not to see. So you need to see the growth for yourself. So that is actually, in short, psychologically, that Uparama. Okay? It's not that easy. So how to go about it? Then we said Titiksha. So Titiksha, in short, we said learning to stretch, expand your limit of threshold. So if you can manage to stretch or expand the limit of your threshold, let the pain continue. Whether it's a mental pain or a physical pain, it will not make much difference to you. But the problem is, all of us, we work to reduce the limit of threshold. Whole modernization or our intellectual process, thinking, whatever, is nothing reducing the limit of threshold. That's why you can see very clearly and carefully. Now the vyadhis are more, the diseases are more. And also Adi, the mental agony, is also equally more. This is the main reason, nothing else. Okay, all these things are great, but it's not that easy. You know, always a but destroys everything. And a sadhaka should not have any but. Remember. But you can say, look, I am trying to be sadhaka. You can again argue, na? Yeah, I am trying to be sadhaka. Please understand my situation. Okay, I understand you. So what to do? He says, there is again something is there to look. What is that? Shraddha. So you go for Shraddha. So Shraddha Kidrushi. As you know, here it says, let us read. Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddha. So when the question is being asked, what is the nature of Shraddha? So in answer it says, Shraddha, just I am translating, so we'll see in details. Shraddha is the trust. So where is the trust? Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu. So in the words of the teacher and the scriptures. This is the literal translation. Let us look at how it works, what it happens. If you look at our life, always we work with some idea. Always we work based on some thoughts. Because without thought, you cannot work. And if you observe yourself, it's a very nice way to look at. I'm going first psychological, then I'll come to the scripture and social aspect also. So if you look at, let us say you are working. So when you are working based on your thought, if your lifestyle, your way of functioning is based on your thought or thinking process, means what? You are relating with your memory. You are relating your information. You are relating with your experience. Just observe. So whenever you are functioning, relating with your thinking process, in short, or mainly backed up by your memories and experiences, whatnot, you can discover that your thinking is low. Just observe, it's a very fine point, because today morning I was thinking how to present psychologically. Whereas when you start working with somebody's idea, working with somebody's thought, whether it's good or bad, let us not look at that. You can discover, the mind thinks ahead. And if you are really aware, sincere, you can understand. When you work with your memory, backed up by your memory, you will discover your, mind is, little lazy lethargy. Like that you need some push. That's why you don't have any other choice other than being mechanical. That enthu will not be there. Whereas when you start working with somebody's idea, and you cherish, okay, true. Then what happens? You can see the frontal region, because as I am taking this Shiva Samhita, all these concepts are coming, okay? A lot of connections are there. So that's why. So then what happens? Then automatically the frontal region, the frontal brain starts working. So that's why it is sometimes better to listen to somebody than listening to one's own self. Okay, to whom to listen to? Shraddha is a very funny, believing somebody is very funny. It is like, doctor. We have a roga called disease. This roga is called bhava roga. So bhava roga means the disease of the samsara, sense of becoming. So I have a disease. The disease name is called bhava roga. Sense of becoming means I am not happy with myself. So I want to become someone so that I'll be happy. So that the struggle of becoming is there all the time. That's why I don't like you. You don't like you. Sorry, I don't like myself, but I like you. You don't like yourself. You like somebody. Somebody doesn't like that person. Then like somebody. Then finally that person doesn't like himself, likes me. You understand? This is what life is. Like hairstyle, for example. Nobody is happy with their hair. So they do different style. So what style they do? They copy somebody. That fellow is not happy with his own hairstyle. He will copy somebody. Then finally will discover the final one is not happy with his hairstyle. He is trying to do my hairstyle. This is what all about the life. So this is called bhava roga. Sense of becoming. And we have different rogas, disease. And when you have disease, what you do? You need to go to a doctor. And doctors are funny. All over the world, don't worry, okay? Doctors are really, really funny. And you have many pathies, okay? Starting with allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, sympathy, apathy, you understand? All sort of pathy you can add. And interestingly, no pathy accepts other pathy. The allopathy doctor will not accept homeopathy. Homeopathy, poor fellow, will accept allopathy. It's something funny, okay? The Ayurveda fellow will not accept naturopathy, even though they go together. No. Naturopathy fellow will say no Ayurveda. So nobody accepts other. It's a very funny thing. And interestingly, if you observe, there is a beautiful joke goes about doctors. I have got hundreds of jokes, okay? Because the doctors and teachers, they come together. That's why I'm trying to relate. Yeah. Do you know the best thing is, doctors, the one of the joke of doctor was, because each doctor criticizes others. That are called professional jealousy. Hey, that doctor is not good. That is not good. So they say very nicely, one joke goes, one patient comes to a doctor and says, okay, what happened? Why is so late you made? No, I was getting treatment. From whom? This is our neighborhood doctor. Oh, that person, what foolish advice did he give you? Actually, he advised me to meet you. Then he woke up. Oh, you understand? And interestingly, because this is called professional jealousy. Not only that, we have also another thing that that present day also is very much applicable, that Vaidyaraja Namastubhyam Yamaraja Sahodara Yama Harati Pranan Dhananicha. Means, oh Vaidya means here doctor, okay? Oh doctor, my salutations to you. Why? Because you are the brother of Yama, the death, Lord Death. How? Yama harati pranan. The death only takes away the life, prana. But do you know what you do? You are greater than him, in fact. Do you know what you do? Pranan dhananicha. Not only you take away life, also you loot all the money. If you look at all these things, how there is a sense of competition, there is no acceptance, looting, or let us say exploiting the weakness of person, exploiting the situation as doctors do and pharma companies do. Now same thing also happens with reference to these religious preachers. There is a lot of competition. I am right. A lot of stories goes, okay? Because Puju Swamiji used to quote this joke very nicely, because once he went to this, let me not get into this mode today. So he goes to the, what do you call, Pagal Khana, that mental hospital, that one full moon day. He did not know. And each one talks differently. Then finally says, oh, he understood. Then everybody started attacking, hey, is this new client, a new student has come or what? Let us make him also mad so that he will be one among with us. To make it cut short, okay? Coming back here. So here, each one tries that they are best. And they say that their method is the best method. And common people get confused. So you cannot say whether this guru is right or that guru is right. Common person cannot understand it. So here the trick is, because we have to believe in, there is no choice. We have to believe in somebody. There is no choice at any given time. You have to believe in. So here, when you have to believe in, you have to be careful. So here he uses this word. First, you have to understand who is a guru. So in short, the one who removes the ignorance. Not that because he is my guru, he will remove my ignorance. Means that person is called guru who is predominantly teaching. Not that I accept him as guru, that's why he has to teach me. Doesn't work. So the job of the guru, the teacher, is to teach. It's like, as we say, because there are two statements, because she has given me birth, that's why she is my mother, or because she is my mother, that's why she has given me birth. Which one is right? You cannot say that, no, yes, she is my mother, because she is my mother, she has given me birth. It's wrong. Because she has given me birth, that's why she is my mother. So also, Guru means what? Because he has given me knowledge, that's why he is my Guru. Or because he is my Guru, that's why he has to give me knowledge. So always you put the cart before the horse. And this, because of this advantage, every Guru takes for granted and right. So first what? Give Diksha, initiation. This is called branding the organization. Everybody is busy. Give initiation. You know, we have a beautiful, those who have gone to Tirupati, and especially do Mundanam. It's an amazing thing to observe in Tirupati. This Mundanam. Mundanam means removing the hair, okay? And it's a multi-million business, don't worry. So there what happens, the barbers you should observe. Big demand, less barbers. They will never say no. The moment you sit there, little bit they will do it and sit. Poor fellow, you cannot do anywhere, you cannot go anywhere. So he will complete others and come and do it. So like that, Gurus, what they do to catch people, first keep initiating one after another. So once you are initiated, I'm not telling jokes, there is a big group in India, one all over the world. They will say, you know, you have to stick to one Guru. And nothing wrong in it, it's good. But the way they will inject the sense of guilt in you, you are completely destroyed. Sometimes it's better not to be initiated than initiating with a wrong person. I'm telling you openly. So all these things happens. Why? Because of lack of teaching. That's why he highlights, that is called Shraddha. Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu. The teacher has to speak in keeping with the scripture. Wherever a teacher starts speaking one's own experience, I say once the teacher starts blabbering, that person is not a teacher. Because we discussed psychologically first, moment you relate with your experience, while relating with your experience, when you function, automatically your energy is low. Your way of thinking goes down. Now you relate with a teacher, that person himself is relating with the experience and talking to you. Yes, you are elevated because you are relating with that person. But after some time, what happens? Not only that person is sinking, along with him, you also sink. That's what happens. So here we make it very clear. The teacher has to be very clear and careful and must speak in keeping with the scripture. If anybody highlights or talks the experience, if there is experience-based preaching, we call that is preaching actually. Experience-based communication is not a teaching, is called preaching. So if the person starts doing that, that means you have to be very careful. You don't need to have Shraddha. That is called Andha Vishwasa. That is called blind faith. And here, when you start looking at this way, the one who speaks in keeping with the teaching, you need to have Shraddha. Because the reason is why here, as we have discussed in details, the scripture is not illogical. And the teacher vision is a few steps ahead of you. And always this sort of teacher, those who do not talk or highlight the experience, definitely always they will be thinking better of you. In fact, they know the best about you than yourself. Like a doctor knows much more about your body than yourself. So here, that accepting the teacher to take or to get a priority space in your thinking process is called Shraddha. If you want to talk in a, sophisticated intellectual language, okay? Giving space, that too, proper space to the teacher in your thinking process. Then you will start doing what? You will start thinking in keeping with the teacher and teaching. That is called really Shraddha works. You learn to think in keeping with the teacher and teaching. Problem is, we do not think in keeping with the teacher and teaching. Then either we try to imitate the teacher. So the imitation with the teacher becomes stronger at that moment when we do not think in keeping with the teacher and teaching. And when you do imitation, there will be competition with others, insecurity. A lot of other complications will come up. So that's why Guru Vedanta Vakyesu Shraddha, that's why in many occasions has been highlighted the word Shraddha. In fact, we have got Shraddha Shuktam. Beautiful. Sometimes maybe we should look at that. And says, also here we say, in Bhagavad Gita one line says, Shraddhavan lavate jnana. The one who is endowed with Shraddha, only that person gains knowledge, not any other person. Because if you hold on to your experience, can you learn anything? When you hold on to experience, what happens to you? You want always the endorsement. Whether my experience is right or wrong, somewhere or other you will like to get the endorsement. And as long as you are looking for endorsement, means acceptance, so-called acceptance, can you learn anything? In fact, remember in life, when you look for acceptance of your thinking, whenever you really look for the acceptance of your thinking, that means that time your growth is stopped. That moment you never grow. That's why remember, when you are in enjoyment mode, there is no growth. But the problem is you want to enjoy every moment, okay? That's why there is no growth. So that's why here you be careful. Guru Vedanta Vakyesu Vishwasaha. So you need to give first priority to the teacher and teaching. That's why we say very carefully. Long before you accept a person, this is what I do in my life with reference to doctor. I am very clear and careful. I may not accept him or her as a doctor. But once I accept someone as a doctor, I become a baby in front of that person. This is my personal way of living. Those who know me, I never question a doctor. Once I accept as a doctor, I am completely like a baby. Do whatever. Because then only the doctor will start working. Because remember, medicine does not work. There are many cases. The faith in doctor works. Have you not observed that? I have done some experiments on this. More than medicine, the faith in doctor, that works beautifully. If you don't have faith, even if you have got the best medicine, it may not heal you at all. Or it may become more complicated. So that's why long before you accept a doctor, you can do all analysis. But once you accept him or her as a doctor, you need to trust that person. Unless and until it becomes really complicated. That's another issue. But to be honest, if you really trust, nothing much will happen. So also long before you accept a person as a teacher, because there are a lot of background checking you have to do. In short, whether the person is preaching oriented or teaching oriented. Whether the person is talking based on the experience and guru's experience or teaching. You understand? My guru was like this. My guru was doing that. Hey, what about you? Please tell me. You understand? So that means the person has nothing to do. Just, highlighting the experiences. So that is not the teaching. So once you accept a person as a teacher, you need to have Shraddha. So once you have a Shraddha, then you will discover the big change in you. Or else what will happen? You will keep experimenting. You will keep experimenting whole life. And when you keep experimenting in life, remember, you are destroying your faculty of thinking. The discriminative faculty becomes weaker. Remember, Shraddha has got a direct connection with the discriminative faculty. Can you see this point? If there is no Shraddha, if Shraddha is questioned, Shraddha is altered, your discriminative faculty becomes weaker, confused. And present day, please understand, most of the people's discriminative faculty is weaker or confused, not because of anything, but because of lack of Shraddha. So the more you understand the Shraddha, the more becomes easier for you to live in your life. That's why learning to trust. But the problem is, I don't want to trust you, but in return always I expect you all must trust me. You understand? In relationship, I don't want to trust you, but you must trust me. How is it to be possible? Remember, learn to trust. Whether other person trusts or not, don't worry. God will take care of you. In short, this is Shraddha. Time is up. More of it. We'll see you tomorrow. Please close your eyes.